everybody, it's Zaza Siesi, physical therapist, here with your movement minute for today. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about what are some good exercises if you have something called a herniated disc, or a bulging disc, or a slipped disc. So in the prior two videos, we talked about slipped discs and if that is something that can actually happen. And so based off of the research and anatomy, we determined that actually slipping a disc is impossible. Your discs are attached to the vertebra, which are the bones of the spine, on either side of them, so on top and below. And so slipping a disc is not possible. However, we did talk about how herniated discs are basically the gelatinous center of the disc has basically kind of ruptured into or through the outer fibers of the disc and can sometimes press on the nerves of the spinal column and cause some pain. We also talked about how there are many people who have slipped discs or herniated discs and have no idea that they have them. And so that is based off of some research that was done on a population of people, some with back pain, some without back pain, and found that there was incidence of this disc herniations or disc bulges throughout all age groups and within people who didn't have pain. So we're thinking a little bit more about, alright, if you have back pain and you have a herniated disc, it's possible that your pain is related to the disc herniation, but it's also possible that the structures around the area are what's causing pain, and that there are other things that influence your pain. And so when you're looking for a recovery or a rehab program or practitioner, you really want to think about, am I being treated or am I getting a holistic type of care so that all of the mechanisms of which I may be experiencing pain are being addressed. And so one thing that has been shown to be helpful is exercise. So a lot of times if we do have, herniated discs and they are more acute or inflamed or just angry and painful, sometimes we think, I don't want to move at all. But actually, exercise and moving in ways that feel good can actually help you to recover. And so this is going to be a little different for everyone. Depending on your case, you might find that bending over makes things worse, or it might make things better. It just depends on what your body is doing. And so there are generally a few exercises that we go through that determine whether you have something called a flexion bias or an extension bias. And so we want to think about what feels better to you right now in this moment. Does bending over feel a little bit better to you and relieve some symptoms? Or does extending back and standing straight up relieve some symptoms? And that's where you want to start. So if you're someone who the bending over, even just very slightly, is something that's helpful, actually working that into an exercise might be beneficial for you. And so something as simple as and getting into this position, and then kind of coming forward.
And just bending down. And taking some nice big deep breaths.
And trying to expand with every breath the lower rib cage and the lower low back area. That is going to help to make those muscles gently relax and expand in a forward bended position. So if coming all the way down is really difficult for you, then just don't go that far down. So you can, start here in more of a neutral position. You can kind of lean forward this way and try to really, as you take nice big deep breaths, expand through this area of your back. So taking nice big deep breaths. That is another modification. Something else you can do, whether you have a forward bending bias or a backward bending bias, is a cat-cow exercise. So if you go into hands and knees and you feel better in bending, then start from a neutral position like this. Take a deep breath in and bend gently, and then exhale out and come back to neutral. Say that you actually feel better with extension or backward bending. You can do the same exercise but work the other part of the range. So what you can do is you can either take a deep breath in or you can do it on an exhale. I'm going to go on an exhale. So I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I exhale, I'm extending my back. And then as I inhale, I'm coming back to neutral. So remember, if you are flared up, this is the place you might want to start. So from neutral, either going into a bending, or from neutral and going into an extending, and then coming back to neutral. If you're at the point where that feels okay, and you want to try to work a little bit more into the range that doesn't feel as comfortable,
tune in next time to check out an easy progression into the ranges that you're a little bit less comfortable in.